Welcome, councillors, staff and gallery to the November meeting of council. As we meet in the spirit of respect and cooperation and collaboration. We pay tribute to those who have come before us as we seek to grow our understanding, our connection, our knowledge of our heritage and culture. We pay respect to the traditional custodians of these lands and the European settlers whose customs and traditions have been passed down through 6 generations. First item will be confirmation of the previous minutes, and they were the council meeting held on Tuesday the 15th of October 2024 at 5:30. Councillor Hearn moved and Councillor Barrett second. All those in favour? Carried. Next item is item 3.1, a petition. A petition that has been received is the amendment to the council's behaviour management policy on page 5 of the agenda. With a recommendation there that council receive and note the petition to instruct the Chief Executive Office to seek legal opinion on the question proposed by the petitioners and to use section 75F of the Local Government Act 1999 if legally acceptable. Questions? No, I was going to read the recommendation. Moved Councillor De Vries and seconded Councillor Troop. Either one wish to speak to it?
Yeah, I'm moving this very much because I think I don't want to get into the specifics of why the petition was raised, but I do think that in the abstract this is something that is perhaps worth at least getting some advice on. Put this in context, when I was in the Army Reserves, we were told that if we got busted for doing anything in civilian life where we could get into legal trouble, that as soon as the civilian courts were finished with us, then the military courts would then have a second crack because they regarded people in the military as being twice the citizen, quote unquote, and needed to be held to a higher standard. I believe the community regard us in the same way, that they do treat us differently, whether we like it or not. Most of the time, I think people try to pretend that we're not councillors, but I do find often when I'm in the community, people will expect me to behave differently and treat me differently as a result. So I think in some ways we never really quite stop being councillors, you know, from time to time. So whether we need to establish some behavioural policy, I don't know. That's something I think that might be worthy of a discussion, perhaps a workshop item, but I would be interested in getting legal advice on that. And I do believe that people don't put petitions like this up and want to have it just shrugged off. So I think we do need to at least find that level of response. I guess that's all I've got to say.
Councillor Troop, do you wish to speak? Councillor Hearn, could you just talk to us off the queue again?
Right, through you, Mr Mayor, just echoing Councillor De Vries' comments, and I'd just like to assure the petitioners as well that we do take this very seriously, and that I feel that a definite closer look at the policy and the code is very appropriate, and appropriate, you know, legal advice as well. If we need to shore this up, we should shore it up, and I think that whatever we do, we need to actually address this on a you know, within the, you know, next few months or within the beginning of the year especially. So I do agree, and I think that it should apply to everyone, and I accept that should, once we shore it up, it applies to all of us, which is a good safeguard. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. What would be bringing back, would the CEO be bringing back to the December meeting? Is it the clauses that are put in on page 9, or are we thinking of something different?
Through you, Mr Mayor, Councillor Hearn, I would be bringing back a recommendation or a legal advice that says what can and cannot be achieved within the context of the petition, but the petition is their view of what could be in it, and
Okay,
we'll also have a look at what other councils may have done as well.
okay, thank you.
I just wanted to clarify my understanding, which is that the petitioners have obviously felt that the current standards in place are insufficient because the alleged behaviour has taken place when the elected member was not acting in the capacity of an elected member. Is that correct?
I can only draw conclusions from what's written in the document.
Any further comment? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. We'll move on to item 4.1, which is the Mayor's report on page 11. Any questions? Move Councillor Evans, or yeah, moving? Move Councillor Evans, seconded Councillor Troop. All those in favour? Carried. 5.1, Councillor's report to Council, Councillor Troop on page 14. Move Councillor Troop and seconded Councillor De Vries. All those in favour? Carried. Councillor's report 5.2, Councillor Barrett on page 16. Moved. Seconded. Okay. All those in favour? Carried. There's a number of matters there on items 6. Matters for information. Is there anything that needs clarifying there? Councillor Barrett.
I've got a couple of comments and one question more than anything else, but I don't need to go into debate about it. Just a request more than a question. And if you're happy with me, the first one, 6.1. I'd just like to acknowledge our CEO for the work he did on the Gawler River. I see he's now left that organisation, so thank our CEO. And also the work of our CEO and his team and the saving of $138,000 on item 6.3 on the Audit and Risk Committee report. And the other one I had was our Building and Construction Industry Review that paid at 6.6. Just people have a real good read of that, because if anyone's a handyman, I see some of the restrictions on laying pipe under 90 mil. I was quite staggered at that. So have a read of that. And the last one, on 6.2, if we can just get some of the Newry Centennial Park Authority minutes in a bit more timely manner. I don't know whether it was where it was, but getting 11 months worth in one hit, I'd just like something closer to the event rather than ancient history. So that's all the comments I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. Nothing further. We'll move on to the debate reports. 7.1.1. CEO.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. 162. Mr Mayor, I'll declare a conflict of interest. The matter is related to employment conditions, and I'll leave the room.
Thank you.
Move the recommendation
Moved councillor De Vries and seconded councillor Evans. Other one wish to speak to it? No further comments. Councillor Barrett?
Oh, sorry.
Fine. All those in favour? Carried.
Sorry, I left my mic on.
7.1.2 is the appointment of Deputy Mayor, 165. Before I call for nominations, may I thank sincerely the Deputy Mayor, current, and for a few more weeks yet, or days. Councillor Schilling, thank you very much for filling in the manner in which you did. I had to rely on you quite a bit through the last 12 months, and I really appreciate the support you've provided, and it was greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you. Recommendation 1, moved by councillor De Vries and seconded by councillor Evans. No comment at all? It's pretty straightforward. Yep. All those in favour? Carried. So with that, I will call for nominations for Deputy Mayor for the... Councillor Greatwich.
Well, I'd like to nominate for Deputy Mayor, please.
Thank you. No, Councillor Greatwich has nominated for Deputy Mayor. Is there a seconder?
You don't need a seconder.
Oh, that's right, I don't need a seconder, sorry. Okay. For further nominations? Is there any further nominations? Congratulations. I better put the vote first. All those in favour? Hold it, hang on.
Now you do recommendation 3.
Oh, recommendation 3, thank you.
Jess will need to declare a conflict.
Thank you.
It's in the words. So you don't need to do subject recommendation 3 because there's no but 2.
That's it.
Straight to recommendation 3.
Recommendation 3, thank you. Moved by councillor De Vries and seconded by councillor Troop. Either one wish to speak to it? All those in favour? Carried. Congratulations. And I'll try not to, well, who knows? You may be called out on many occasions, so well done. Thank you.
Mr Mayor, might I just make a comment, please?
Yes, you can,
I just
please.
want to say thank you to my fellow elected members for nominating me last year, and just to say that I had a fantastic time and a great opportunity serving council as Deputy Mayor. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and all the best to Jess and Councillor Greatwich for the coming 12 months.
And I can call on you, all of you at any given time if need be too, so thank you very much. Next item is 7.2.1, which is on page 170, which is the critical update to non-current asset accounting policy on page 170, with a recommendation as per attachment 1. Moved councillor Breeze and seconded councillor Troop. Any further comment? Either one wish to speak? No. All those in favour? Carried. On page 189, 7.2.2 is the Barossa Australia 2024-2025 funding agreement with authorising the Chief Executive Officer as per agreement presented on attachment 1. Any questions? Moved Councillor De Vries, seconded Councillor Lane. Either one wish to speak? Any comment? All those in favour? Carried. Page 228. 7.2.3 is the annual report as of 2023-24 financial year with a recommendation. You're not a councillor yet, so CEO.
A few more years to go yet. Can't afford it like you yet. Councillors, just as I emailed out today, just so it's publicly recorded, as a result of a couple of questions from Councillor Angus, please note that on page 274, the development application value is going to rise from 138 to 156 million. That's pretty high, actually. So, and some additional notes have been put there to better describe the purchasing. So there's a new disclosure requirement this year as to the costs borne on credit cards. So it's to clearly outline that the vast majority of what we purchase isn't on credit cards, but it's for approved purposes, and we use store accounts, and we use purchase orders, and we use contracts. So it's to give that context. Through you, charges, as in bank fees, $5 per card per month. So I can't remember off the top of my head how many cards there are, but less than $1,000 a year. I can get a more accurate figure, but I just don't have it off the top of my head.
Any further questions? So recommend.
Happy to move the recommendation, Mayor.
Moved Councillor Angus, seconded Councillor Hearn. Either one wish to speak? Any further comments? All those in favour? Carried. 7.2.4 is the monthly finance report as of the 31st of October 2024 on page 391. 391. Any questions?
I think you might have skipped over one. Budget update on page 390.
You've downloaded the old version.
Oh, okay, I've got a different version. Okay, which one?
Hang on, let me double check. No, you're correct.
No,
You're
no,
correct.
no.
391's correct.
391, sorry. Yep, we are good. 391, monthly financial report. Thanks, mate. Any questions? There's a recommendation there as per attachment 1 that council receives and notes the financial report. Councillor Greatwich, moved. And seconded Councillor Schilling. Either one wish to speak to it? All those in favour? Carried. 7.2.5 is
729. Picked up a wrong version or something.
okay. We're all good. 7.2.5. 394, councillor. 394. 394 is the minor amendments to the 2024-25 fees and charges register. Any questions? Moved councillor De Vries and seconded councillor Hearn. Either one wish to speak?
I spoke to the CEO earlier today about this, just to make sure that nobody who's purchasing water was under any false understanding of how much they were going to pay, and they all understand that this is what's coming, so nobody's going to be upset by it. So it's just a tidying up a series of numbers, really.
When you refer to water, we're talking about recycled CWMS. Yes. Yep. Thank you. Any further comment? All those in favour? Carried. 397 is the office closure, 7.2.6 on 397.
Is this an elected member inclusive event or is it staff only? No right or wrong answer.
CEO?
Just one.
Yep. When you say,
Through you, Mr Mayor, yes, elected members will also be invited to the final event for the year.
I want to declare a conflict of interest.
You're not getting any coffee out of the can.
I'll move the recommendation.
moved councillor Angus, seconded councillor Troop. Either one wish to speak? All those in favour? Carried. Page 399, which is the Audit and Risk Committee Governance Structure, feedback from the committee, 7.2.7. Any questions? Councillor Priest?
It's not a question, I just want to ask, because, well, I suppose I'm going to speak against that motion because about no councillors being on the committee. I think it's important that councillors are on, one or two councillors are on this committee because it's recommended we don't have any councillors on the committee. I think we should have councillors on the committee. I'm debating, okay.
I think you're speaking against it, I haven't got a motion yet, so I'll get the motion.
Okay.
I'll move the recommendation.
Move councillor Breeze and seconded councillor Schilling. Either one wish to speak?
I suppose since somebody's going to speak against it, I ought to. Look, I understand the rationale behind having a member of the council on the committee. In this regard, though, I agree with the committee will be reporting back to us annually, and we can seek information from them at any time through examination of the minutes and the agendas, annual reports in writing, annual presentation from the presiding member, which we currently have, and the intention of this is that the committee should operate directly with the entire council rather than liaising through an individual. And to be honest, I don't remember the individual council members on this committee ever actually giving independent reports anyway. So long as there is free flow of information through the staff to the audit committee and back, I don't really see there being a major issue with this. So I understand why the alteration has been made. I personally wouldn't want to be on this audit committee, but I can understand why people would. So I'm happy to move the recommendation as it currently is, but it wouldn't bother me enormously if it went down either.
Councillor Schilling, do you wish to speak? Or? No. Okay. If you wish to speak against?
Yeah, I just think it's important that we leave the status quo, because if we start going down this path about the councillors are not on any committees, then that means that all the committees that we have will eventually have no councillors on them. That diminishes the role of a councillor, and same was with the DAP. We don't have control over that anymore. We keep on diminishing our role on as councillors, then we might as well get rid of the whole of the councils and just let the state government do the roles. If we keep on taking away our roles on committees, I think it's defeating a purpose that's very important to us as councillors to stay on these committees.
Thank you. Any further comment? You have sum up?
Yeah, look, I can appreciate that. Clearly, what the intention of this committee is trying to be an element of independence between the council itself and this body. At the end of the day, they are simply providing us with advice which we can accept or reject, we can modify, and an element of independence on the audit committee doesn't actually bother me that much. I don't see any real problem with it. So I think that is the rationale behind why the recommendation is the way it is.
Closes the debate. All those in favour? Those against? Motion is carried. Page 399. No, we're not. We'll go to 477. Page 477, which is the budget update, first quarterly 2024-2025 financial year as of the September 2024, and an update to the long-term financial plan on page 147 with a recommendation as per attachment 1 and 2. Any questions? Moved Councillor Angus and seconded Councillor Greatwich. Either one wish to speak? Any further comment? All those in favour? Carried. Page 510. (7.3.1) is the naming of Vintage Estate, Stage 4, 510, with a recommendation there. Tawny Court. Sounds a bit courty. Councillor Evans, you move it?
I was hoping to move that.
Councillor Priest, you second?
Oh, got it from me.
Oh,
No
sorry,
worries.
Jess had your light on. Sorry.
No, I was kidding. I was just going to move it because I just think it's brilliant. I wanted to commend them on whoever came up with that, probably after a glass or two of Tawny Port.
I'll go.
Go.
Councillor Evans moved and your light was on.
Brilliant.
Councillor Gray.
Yes, that's
All those in favour?
I was going to speak. That's all right. No, I was just going to say, when I first read this, I misread it and I thought it said Downey Court, which would have been interesting, but...
Downey Milgy.
Yeah.
I'm going to say all those in favour again, so I get everyone. Yeah, okay. Carried, thank you.
Nice tawny Chardonnay. They just called it over oat.
Page 514,
can't believe it's taken.
which is the 7.3.2 is the infrastructure asset management plan adoption on page 514. I think we workshopped this as well. Councillor Shilling.
Yes, I want to remove the recommendation, Your Worship.
Okay. And second, Councillor Barrett.
Yes, happy to second.
Either one wish to speak?
Acknowledge the Mr. Clark and his team on putting together this plan. It was very interesting reading, I must say. The depth of the information to move to a proactive rather than a reactive. I think it'll obviously take some time to really get it there, and the effectiveness will be on getting the input right so that you get the correct data. But to have a stock take of all our assets and then be able to draw on that information is going to be really valuable moving forward. So congratulations to your team on a fantastic plan.
Councillor Barrett.
Yeah, I'll keep it very, very brief. The only comment I'll make, somewhat disappointed the no submissions received from the public over such a body of work. So that's the only comment I've got to say.
You've chosen your service levels very acceptably and accepted by the public.
Did we sell it enough for people to look at? Did we do a good enough job for people?
Well, it goes out like all other things, councillor, so if people are interested, they'll buy into it. Any further comments? All those in favour? Carried. Now, I do run the meeting, they tell me, and it's amiss of me, and seeing we're giving congratulations, I meant to do something with the annual report and just say what a magnificent achievement that's been made for the last 12 months. And I meant to say that earlier on. So congratulations to you, to the staff in what's been delivered. It's been exceptional, to say the least. And I should have done that earlier. But the CEO reminds me I run the meeting, so I can choose where I want to jump in and jump out. So that's where I am. But fantastic effort. That is, the achievements of the last 12 months has been extraordinary, and it hasn't just happened in 12 months. It's been a commitment by a lot of people over a number of years. So well done. Now I'll go back to the agenda. 582. (7.4.1) is the Early Childhood Strategy endorsement. Any questions? Councillor Greatwich.
I'm simply going to move the recommendation.
Move Councillor Greatwich and seconded Councillor De Vries. Either one wish to speak?
No, I think this is terrific. I do agree that it probably shouldn't be expanded, but I'm really curious to see how this plays out. So I'll be watching this one with a lot of interest.
Any further comments? All those in favour? Carried. Page 605 is the review of the Environmental Protection Waste to Resources Policy 2010 on page 605 with a recommendation. Any questions? Move Councillor Hearn and seconded Councillor Greatwich. You wish to speak to it, either one? Any comments? All those in favour? Carried. Page 645. 645, which is Lindop Christmas Street Party, request to land the helicopter on the village green to deliver Santa Claus. Move Councillor Evans and seconded Councillor Lane. Will you, either one wish to speak? Yeah, question?
Oh, that's okay. Dave was talking.
Do you want to?
I'm good. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It also proposes that the main street be closed to traffic from 5 until 10:30. Have we already closed the main street? Have we already given permission for that to happen? And if not, should that not be included in the?
Yep,
You
that's
don't
under
need recommendation?
delegation. No, it's.
Okay, cool.
It used to be, but not anymore. No, it just saves another report. Councillor Evans.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say that I think it sounds absolutely fabulous. Santa Claus coming in on a helicopter, and it'll be a wonderful thing for the community. So thank you.
It's not the first time Santa Claus has come by helicopter. It's just one way.
Councillor Troop, do you wish to speak? No. And the street party, as is returning to the street because there's no oval. So it's good to go back to the street once more. And then we'll go back to the oval, maybe. All those in favour? Carried. Members, that concludes those items which we now need to move into confidence, and there is a number of reports there to do with Concordia planning, also the Barossa Park development, state and council project agreement, as well as a waste management service contract extension and proposal. So with that, it's moved by Councillor De Vries and seconded by Councillor Hearn that we go into confidence. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, gallery. Council, that concludes our November agenda. Our next scheduled meeting is the 17th of December 2024 at 5:30, and I think we sent an email out just letting you all know that we'll bring in a couple of drinks and we'll have a little Chrissy party after the next meeting. So thank you for your attendance, and with that I'll formally close the meeting.